golf hitting mat review time. This is called the Monster Mat. The Monster Mat. Cool name, cool color. And I spoke with the owner of the company, and as every owner of every company I've ever spoke with, they said this is the greatest golf practice hitting mat in the history of life. I would say the same thing too if I made it, but I'm going to test it and let you know what I think of the Monster Mat. I have here the 5x5 mat, and it comes with 2 rubber tees that you can put a tee in and it will hold. Any mat that you can stick a tee in and it stays up, those aren't good, just FYI. This does not come with the cool plastic tray that it sits in. Those are worth nothing, that's not important. You can use this indoor and outdoor. On the bottom it comes with holes to where you can insert your tee from underneath here. Right there. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I love that. It's just surface level. Perfect. Monster Mat is made with your typical, well, not so typical mat cushion. They have a unique way of creating this to make it feel, as the owner told me, this will feel as good or better than any real fairway you've ever played on. Now, I played on some pretty good fairways. Cypress Point, Riviera, LA Country Club, East Lake. I've played on a lot of nice fairways. So we will see if this is as good or even nicer than any other fairway in reality, not to mention the mat. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in here. I'm not going to put it on top of here. That would be a disservice because this is soft. And soft on soft equals pretty soft. Under here is grade A concrete. And so I'm going to hit directly on the concrete surface. This is going to go where this is. And we'll see how she performs. This is there's a record. First time I cut something right the first time. Let's hit some balls. Here we go. We just start with a 7, kind of medium club, and let's rock and roll. Medium club meaning not a super deep divot. You could see I hit a little behind that. I could see it. I hit that fat, I felt it, and definitely picked it up. Huh. So it puts a little bit of a green mark on the bottom of my club, but it's not bad at all. And that just rubs right off. I was hoping none of that was on there, but it's a little bit, but it just rubs right off. Pretty simple like that. So no big deal. That's 7 iron. Let's go to a wedge, take a little more of a deep divot before I really start giving my, my thoughts on this. Okay, pros and cons so far. Pro, I love the feel on my feet. It feels better than, well, it's a little more cushiony than my current setup. I love that. I love the color. I like the deep, rich green, whereas mine's a little more of, doesn't have so much, let's say, saturation in it. It's not as vibrant. That's what I love. It does feel authentic to grass. There is a little bit of subtle resistance and then release as you hit the ball. You could kind of feel it as if it were a divot. So in terms of the feel versus reality, there is that kind of hesitation and then release that you would normally have if you're on a real golf course hitting out of a real fairway. I do like that. The cons. Here's the major con. I'm gonna have to vacuum it. I get all this little stuff coming off. Now, pro, it doesn't stick to my club. It won't stay on there. But I do have to rub it off with my finger, and then I get all the flakes in my studio. I don't really like that. That's not good. Here's what I'm gonna do just to kind of give it one last look over before I give my final verdict. I'm gonna hit a few more here, then I'm gonna put back what I normally have and go from there and see if I really tell a difference. All right, Monster Mat. My favorite thing about this is the owner, I think with his dad, went to another well-known company, high-end. I won't give the name of that company, but it rhymes with Bonsanto. And so they went to this company that rhymes with Bonsanto, and they said, hey, you want to help us make the mat? And they said, get out of here. We're going to do our own. And so they left, and they said, okay, we're going to do our own too. And they became one of the leading manufacturers in turf, artificial turf. So good for you guys, Monster Mat. And they make a pretty awesome golf hitting mat. The 5x5 is retailing right now for around $358 US. So you would never want to go with the cheapest option out there anyways, because those will damage your joints and bones and they're not that good. So this feels really, really close to the original, being a real fairway. And compared to my setup has more give, but this has more realistic feel. And it didn't really hurt my joints. I do have a broken bone in my wrist permanently, so I'm sensitive to that kind of thing. Felt pretty good. So I'm happy with Monster Mat. Great at-home setup. The only downside, I don't like the fibers coming off on the bottom of my club, but hey, for a real feel, I could put up with it. I will leave a link in the video description below. You could check it out, see if it will work for you. They have all different shapes and sizes. See if there's something that might help you out in your home studio, whatever you got, indoor, outdoor, Monster Mat. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you liked the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Love you. See you next time.